In this video, I'm going to show you how to use StatKey to find the area under a normal curve. And so located in the Module 7 notes is the link to the website, so you want to go ahead and click on that. And this is what you should see. And notice down here it says Theoretical Distributions Normal. So for right now, this is the only section in StatKey we're going to look at. And so if we click here, notice that StatKey automatically draws a normal curve for us. And then further, looking up here on the right, notice that it has mean and standard deviation. So by default, StatKey is going to draw a normal which has mean 0 and standard deviation 1. If we click on Edit Parameters, we can change this to be any mean and standard deviation that we want. So looking at the Module 7 notes, notice that we are interested in IQ scores which have a mean of 100 and standard deviation of 10. So we can change this to mean of 100 and standard deviation of 10. And if I click OK, StatKey is going to redraw this normal curve for me. So notice the curve is now centered at 100. So let's look at how we can use StatKey to find these different probabilities in the examples. So the first example reads, IQ tests are designed so that the IQ scores are distributed normal with a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 10. What is the probability that a person has an IQ larger than 113? So notice, if we look again, we look here at the curve. I want to know the probability of having an IQ larger than 113. So looking down here at the bottom, 113 occurs about right here. And to find the probability, which is the same thing as the area of being larger than 13, what that means is I want all of this area to the right of 113. So what you want to do is come up here and you're going to click on right tail, meaning we want the area to the right, and then I'm going to change down here to 113. StatKey is going to give you, it's going to shade in the area for you. So this is all of the area to the right of 113. And we see that this area is equal to 0.097. So that probability is 0.097. The next example asks, what is the probability that a person has an IQ smaller than 96? So what we can do is we need to clear our plot, and we can do that by clicking Reset Plot. But notice that that changed the mean and the standard deviation back to the default 0 and 1. So again, we're going to click on Edit Parameters. Notice it saved that mean and standard deviation for us. And if we click on OK, notice now that it's centered at 100. So we do have that normal distribution that describes the IQ scores drawn again. But this time we want the probability that a person has an IQ smaller than 96. So 96 is about right here. And notice if I drew a line up above 96, the area to the left, or the area that's smaller than 96, is all of this. So that occurs in the left portion of the curve. So I'm going to click on left tail. And down here, I'm going to type in 96. And this tells me that the area to the left of 96 is 0.345. So this tells me that there's about a 34.5% probability that a person has an IQ smaller than 96. Right? So next, the next question says, what is the probability that a person has an IQ between 112 and 125? Well, what we can start out by doing is notice that the smaller number is 112. So let's go ahead and put in 112. So here's 112, and we have all the area to the left of it. But we've got another value, that 125 that we're interested in. So if we click on 125, it's now going to shade the area to the right, and I need to change this to 125. And notice Stat3 is going to give three numbers up here. The number to the left is going to be the area to the left of 112. The right area is the area to the right of 125, whereas the middle number is the area between the two. And notice that's the area that we want. So our answer here is 0.109. So the probability that a person has an IQ between 112 and 125 is 0.109. Now the next two examples word the question a little bit differently, so let's go ahead and reset our plot. And again, we're going to need to edit our parameters to reflect the IQ scores. And so now it says, under what value do 80% of IQ scores fall? So we want to find a value down here so that the area to the left of it is 80%. So we can do that by clicking on left tail, but this time we're going to change this to be 0.8. And so notice this IQ score right here has 80% of the IQs below it. So the answer here is IQ score of 108.416. The next question asks, above what value do 40% of the IQ scores fall? So again, I'm going to reset my plot, edit my parameters to reflect the IQ scores, but now I'm looking for the value down here, or the IQ score, which has 40% of the area above it. So to find that, what we can do is click on right tail and change the area under the curve to be 0.4. And so notice an IQ score of 102.533 has 40% of the IQ scores above it.